Hi, I'm Deputy Glenn Bakken with Spokane County Sheriff's Office Commercial Motor Vehicle Enforcement Team. And today I will be talking to you about protection against shifting and falling loads. We will talk about and review commercial federal regulations, Washington state law, and how this applies to you, the driver, and to your company. This video will give you a brief overview of the rules, regulations, and laws so you and your company will have a better working knowledge on this subject. First, let's find out what commercial federal regulations say about general and load-specific securement and its devices. 49 CFR 393-100 reads, "The rules in this subpart are applicable to trucks, truck tractors, semi-trailers, full trailers, and pull trailers." Along with this, in DOT interpretations, it reads, "Cargo must comply with all applicable provisions, including protection against shifting or falling cargo in an enclosed trailer as well." In prevention against loss of load, each commercial motor vehicle must, when transporting cargo on the public roads, be loaded and equipped, and the cargo secured in accordance with this subpart to prevent the cargo from leaking, spilling, blowing, or falling from the motor vehicle. In prevention against shifting of the load, cargo must be contained, immobilized, or secured in accordance with this subpart to prevent shifting upon or within the vehicle to such an extent that the vehicle's stability or maneuverability is adversely affected. Now let's talk about working load limit straps and what commercial federal regulations say about this. 49 CFR 393-106 reads, "The rules in this section are applicable to the transportation of all types of articles of cargo, except commodities covered by the commodity-specific rules of 393-116 through 393-136. The commodity-specific rules take precedence over the general requirements of this section when additional requirements are given for a commodity listed in those sections. Cargo must be firmly immobilized or secured on or within a vehicle by structures of adequate strength, dunnage or dunnage bags, shoring bars, tie-downs, or a combination of these. In cargo placement and restraint, articles of cargo that are likely to roll must be restrained by chocks, wedges, a cradle, or other equivalent means to prevent rolling. The means of preventing rolling must not be capable of becoming unintentionally unfastened or loose while the vehicle is in transit. Articles or cargo placed beside each other and secured by transverse tie-downs must either be placed in direct contact with each other or be prevented from shifting towards each other while in transit." 49 CFR 393-106 also specifies the aggregate working load limit of tie-downs used to secure an article or group of articles against movement must be at least 1/2 times the weight of the article or group of articles. 49 CFR 393-110 B and C reads, "When tie-downs are used as part of a cargo securement system, the minimum number of tie-downs required to secure an article or group of articles against movement depends on the length of the article being secured. These requirements are in addition to rules under 393-106. When an article is not blocked or positioned to prevent movement in the forward direction by a header board, bulkhead, or other cargo that is positioned to prevent movement or other appropriate blocking devices, it must be secured by at least one tie-down for articles 5 feet or less in length and 1,100 pounds or less in weight. 2 tie-downs if the article is either 5 feet or less in length and more than 1,100 pounds in weight, or longer than 5 feet but less than or equal to 10 feet in length, irrespective of the weight. 2 tie-downs if the article is longer than 10 feet and 1 additional tie-down for every 10 feet of article length or fraction thereof beyond the first 10 feet of length. If an individual article is blocked, braced, or immobilized to prevent movement in the forward direction by a header board, bulkhead, other articles which are adequately secured, or by an appropriate blocking or immobilization method, it must be secured by at least 1 tie-down for every 10 feet of article length or fraction thereof, and 1 more for every 10 feet thereafter." Now let's talk about and look at commodity-specific loads seen regularly on the roadways today. 49 CFR 393-118 reads, "Rules for securing dressed lumber or similar building products goes as follows. The rules in this section apply to the transportation of bundles of dressed lumber, packaged lumber, building products such as plywood, gypsum board, or other materials of similar shape. Lumber or building products which are not bundled or packaged must be treated as loose items and transported in accordance with 393-100 through 393.114 of this subpart. For the purpose of this section, bundle refers to packages of lumber, building materials, or similar products which are unitized for securement as a single article of cargo. In positioning, bundles must be placed side by side in direct contact with each other, or a means must be provided to prevent bundles from shifting towards each other. The general rule for lumber stacked on top of each other goes as follows. If there are 3 tiers, the middle and top bundles must be secured by tie-downs in accordance with the general provisions of 393.100 through 393.114. Or, if there are more than 3 tiers, then one of the middle bundles and the top bundle must be secured by tie-down devices in accordance with the general provisions of 393.100 through 393.114, and the maximum height of the middle tier that must be secured may not exceed 6 feet above the deck of the trailer, or otherwise, the second tier from the bottom must be secured in accordance with the general provisions of 393.100 through 393.114. Now let's go over 49 CFR 393.130 on the rules of securing heavy vehicles, equipment, and machinery. The rules in this section apply to the transportation of heavy vehicles, equipment, and machinery which operate on wheels or tracks, such as front-end loaders, bulldozers, tractors, and power shovels, and which individually weigh 10,000 pounds or more. Vehicles, equipment, and machinery which is lighter than 10,000 pounds may also be secured in accordance with the provisions of this section with 393.128 or in accordance with the provisions of 393.100 through 393.114. In preparation of equipment being transported, the accessory equipment, such as hydraulic shovels, must be completely lowered and secured to the vehicle. Articulated vehicles shall be restrained in a manner that prevents articulation while in transit. In addition to the preceding requirements, heavy equipment or machinery with crawler tracks or wheels must be restrained against movement in the lateral, forward, rearward, and vertical directions using a minimum of 4 tie-downs. Each of the tie-downs must be affixed as close as practical to the front and rear of the vehicle, or mounting points of the vehicle that have been specifically designed for that purpose. For more information on working load limits on most typical securement devices, please see the chart given at 49 CFR 393.108. Now let's get into Revised Code of Washington and what it states about loads and its securement. RCW 4637-490 on safety load chains and devices required reads, "It shall be unlawful to operate any vehicle upon public highways of this state without having the load thereon securely fastened and protected by safety chains or other device." RCW 4661-655 on dropping load, other materials, covering, reads, "No vehicle shall be driven or moved on any public highway unless such vehicle is so constructed or loaded as to prevent any of the load from dropping, sifting, leaking, or otherwise escaping therefrom, except that sand may be dropped for the purpose of securing traction. Any vehicle operating on a paved public highway with a load of dirt, sand, or gravel susceptible of being dropped, spilled, leaked, or otherwise escaping therefrom shall be covered so as to prevent spillage. Covering of such loads is not required if 6 inches of freeboard is maintained within the bed. Any vehicle with deposits of mud, rocks, or other debris on the vehicle's body, fenders, frame, undercarriage, wheels, or tires shall be cleaned of such material before the operation of the vehicle on a paved public highway." Remember, if these rules and regulations are not adhered to, either you or your company may be cited and placed out of service, or worse, be involved in a crash due to poor securement of your load. As with anything, this is a very brief overview for your information and education, but for more information, please look at 49 CFR 393.100 through 393.136 on particulars, or contact the Spokane County Sheriff's Office Commercial Motor Vehicle Enforcement deputies. With that, I would like to thank you for your time and concern for safety on the job while driving these large vehicles. Have a great day and drive safely. This has been a free presentation and education class which has been brought to you by the Spokane County Sheriff's Office Aggressive Commercial Traffic Team.